to our episode of SRB TV. I'm Christian.
I'm Christopher.
And on today's episode, we're taking a look at His Dark Materials Season 2, Episode 2.
The Cave.
So previously on His Dark Materials, Lyra finally met Will. So they both went to the portals and wound up in this kind of between world.
Yeah, they finally realized that this is a third. It sounds like this is a third world.
Yeah, where pretty much it's just, and you arrive in this like seaside village where it appears that anybody like grown up or mature, like they said males, but it could mean like women as well. I believe they only said males mysteriously disappear or get turned into what we saw like some kind of like soulless being.
Yeah, look, it's because they said they're eating from the inside, so it feels like like their soul is like taken out of them. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, and it appears that Lyra and Will are clashing on a couple things.
Oh yeah.
So that was pretty funny. On their world side of things.
Oh yes, Miss Coulter.
Lee Scoresby is now on a quest to deliver this magical shield that help protect Lyra.
Yeah.
As well as the witches, including the lead witch.
The Queen Witch.
Queen Witch. Kind of split on what they should do. Should they focus on the prophecy, or they should focus on the coming Great War with the Magistrate?
Yeah, and that's where we saw
Magisterium. Yeah.
Yeah, even with the Magisterium. Yeah, Queen got pissed off. We went to go rescue since Miss Coulter was kind of torturing one of the other witches.
She wound up, even though you just said Miss Coulter.
Yeah.
Miss Coulter showed up. Pretty much did get information about like Lyra's real name. And,
there's a prophecy, and part of the prophecy she has a specific name. But that's all she got out of it.
But before she was utterly swept, the Queen Witch showed up, killed her, and proceeded to. It was funny because you could do that, but you can't do it the other way back. But no, she fights everybody accidentally and stabs the cardinal, and the cardinal's in a failed condition.
Yeah.
Miss Coulter convinces
She uses her manipulation to kind of like have this other guy pretty much take his place. Mm-hmm. It's just like, it'll be my sin that, in a way it's like, I'll kill him the rest of the way, you do your part, but it's like you owe me type of situation. Oh,
and Miss Coulter denies running into Osric.
Even though the other guy still doesn't believe her. He still is like, yeah, I doubt that. So that's where we're at now. Well, kind of now, because they still both kind of, Lyra and Will.
Oh yeah, where we left off.
Both Lyra and Will pretty much are still kind of keeping secrets from one another.
So Lyra did finally ask the Leafiometer if Will's like a good person. If I forgot what it was exactly, but
I forgot the question was.
If Will's a good person, if there's a secret he's keeping.
Yeah.
And she finds out he did murder somebody, but he did murder somebody
on good terms.
But he did murder somebody for the better good, for the greater good.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's something. But she feels like there is something. That there is something else to his story. There is
something more to his story, and that's where we see him pretty much where he has the files that he had brought with him, and then next he has a flash of the knife. He has that quick vision of the knife, and it's like the building they initially saw in the town, the main centerpiece. It's like that's where it's at, and that's where we caught to the specter that's like literally right behind him.
Right behind him. So that's where we left off.
Yeah. So
let's dive into this. This is our reaction
to His Dark Materials Season 2, Episode 2, The Cave. So here we go.
It's got something to do here. I think we both do.
I think where the specter is, it's trying to safeguard the knife.
Maybe that's the only thing that's what will make sense.
Once it found out that Will and Lyra were coming,
that's when it kind of activated and took out the whole town,
like a defense mechanism.
What do you think?
No capes, Lyra.
No capes. No capes. No capes.
He's trying to help her. Like he has to.
Sorry, Pie.
Unbelievable.
You have to understand, there's no demons in his world.
There are pets, and that's the thing is a pet, but your pet can't talk.
It cannot talk. It's not allowed to talk.
Yeah.
or they're gonna think it's a freak and we gotta experiment.
Lyra, wait! Wait!
Oh, here we go.
You can't forget, Lyra is literally just like,
And she nearly gets hit by a car! Nice!
You okay?
Yeah, I don't have cars that fast in my house.
You don't have to work late either.
Didn't worry. I love it. She nearly gets hit by a car. Wow, that would be a weird way to end this show. I just love it. Love it. Nearly just gets run over by a car. That's
I know, it's like Lyra is just so excited because she's going to another world, but she doesn't realize you need to slow it down. She don't know what's on the other side of that door, you know? It's just like...
So yeah, it's funny because she's used to the vehicles being different.
It is, yeah.
Being much slower.
Yeah, not as fast.
I wonder if it's gonna be a thing where they go to his world, they go to her world.
That's a good question, yeah. Will they
But
go
to be
back
fair,
to her
the
world?
world of her world is on top of a motherfucking mountain.
Lyra,
Wait, that village is closer to it in my world.
Lyra, slow down.
Oh my god.
Never.
You tell Lyra, it's like, Lyra, this is my world, let
Right
me...
there! It's right next to it!
It's not the
It's not the same.
The same Oxford. What if there's like a post-apocalyptic future
Who knows?
where they rebuild society after? Oh, okay, she definitely
She definitely finished the job.
she did the deed.
She did the deed. Cause remember, she stated, she's like, I'll take the sin. Yeah, her freaking...
Like a knife.
Ooh, like a subtle knife.
Respect. I dedicate myself.
Such a smart play on her part. Remember, at the end of the last film, they fucking hated her because of all the waste of resources.
I asked it about you, Will. It told me you're a murderer.
What?
Oh, plead the fifth.
I need to know about you, so I asked it. And it's fine. It's the good kind of murderer. Like you're.
Stop saying that word. I have to make sure she's alright. Stay out of trouble, okay?
Don't leave her there.
Panic Gardens, 5 p.m.
Don't leave her there.
I'm a murderer.
Oh god, you don't know what you're... She's... Oh wow.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't think she knows who Carlo is.
She feels indistinct. Like she's behind a veil.
She can't sense her strongly anymore because she's in another
Be
world.
lost.
Well, 2 worlds over.
Yeah, she's like a couple worlds next door.
Yeah.
It's particles. You ever heard of them?
In your school, you mean?
No.
No, wait. Look,
I
Claire.
study dust because the magisterium thinks it's original sin. They tell
Remember,
children to
can't
do it.
lie.
And now there's an opening. My father is.
There's a lot I'm going through.
I didn't think it would be this difficult.
Probably help.
I've traveled so far.
You see, in her world, they all know that another world does exist.
Jordan's gone.
Here, it's like, for us...
Well,
it's
yeah, there's
theory.
a lot who believe that in our
There's
world.
a whole
exists.
bunch of people, like half the world pretty much also
If I don't
believe.
find out about those, it will
Here, there's only a handful that really think of
Have
it as
a theory.
Business.
theories.
And you, how is that charming daughter of yours
Oh,
the escape artist?
Escape artist.
really good too.
They grow up so fast. Has a demon settled yet?
My daughter is none of your business.
Trust me, it is. You know, it's funny. We know both of them are the bad antagonists in this, but it's so funny that Carl has one over her.
Yeah.
You are sentenced to 8 years hard labor and demon captivity. Take him downstairs.
Wow, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. He was just the messenger. That was it. They fucking booted the messenger to jail.
They think the witches are up to something against the magisterium, but it's like, they're not.
Yeah.
They're more focused on this than the other thing.
Lyra, how do you know about my work? None of it's published.
Yeah, it's not a show of demon.
Change it.
I don't want to see if she freaks out.
Yeah, remember.
Oh, wait, no, not
reaching out
yet.
at her. That would be a really cool prop to have, just in general.
Because that's how that works.
What she
remember
describes.
last season there was that one when she wasn't really thinking and it started moving. And that's where she's like,
We're not.
We're a nun.
you're
But you stopped believing and you left. Now why do you do that in my world?
Sounds like your mum needs some professional help.
How'd you know that?
That right there. How do you know that?
If you could just explain
I think it's
and
time-
help
it's time for me to
Simon,
go.
then all of this can be over.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry at all.
He did it, yeah.
Just
It
doesn't make sense.
Makes sense. That's why he's like, how do you know that?
Nothing makes sense.
How do you know my mom's state? You know, it's like
The state she's in, if you've never been in contact with us.
it makes no sense. That's where it's like,
Yeah,
no.
look, there's the machine we saw in the intro now.
I do. Just try to clear your mind. You can look at that screen. I've only managed to do this once with a small response, so let's just see what happens.
I'm trying
It's gonna start playing like Enter Sandman from Metallica. No, Chop Suey from System of a Down.
I'm waiting for it to go on the
Wait.
screen. Hello, Lyra.
Whoa!
Whoa, she literally just wiped the...
No.
No, it's the whole...
Showing the actual dust looks like.
But you have to make the connection yourself.
It's communicating
John's
with
box
her.
are upstairs. We'll need a way of going.
Has to be you that makes that connection.
You have to make that connection. She was communicating with the dust.
With, I guess, their alethiometer in a way.
In a way, that's what it was. It was communicating with her.
If you think about it, it's our
Because you
weird
saw her
version
hand,
of
you saw her hand like as if she was holding a alethiometer, asking a question.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed because you saw her hands the way the camera.
Party's over. She's followed her through. She's followed her through that window. She's in another world entirely.
It's the first time hearing about this.
Thank you.
And remember, who already knows? Carl already knows. Like, dude's like,
And I think it's too.
oh, I love this demon. This is so cute.
And I think now she's putting two together from Carlo. When pretty much she asked about it.
Maybe we'll have to see.
We'll see.
But she's a smart woman, so she may.
I'm pretty sure she put two and two together, especially when Carlo brings up the daughter. You know, it's just like
Yeah.
the start of a war.
That needs to be started
That
up.
doesn't mean started up, especially when the witches have nothing against the Magisterium. They don't. They have their own path and what they want to do.
Yeah, and their path is to help the prophecy.
It's just help the prophecy. That's it.
And now that one queen of her tribe, the witch tribe, is about to get her way and start a war.
It's like you're on your own.
Okay, there you go. Got the job. Good luck.
It's like
Remember, if you bother me,
it's a type of thing. It's the type of thing. It's like remember how you got this job. Don't forget it. You know. So I'm taking my leave. It's like you can't do shit about it. So that was a good episode.
yeah, it was an interesting episode.
Really good episode.
We got
a lot more information.
Yeah, it's really cool that we got more information about what exactly dust is.
From our, I guess, from Dustin's and our world in a way you could say.
So,
How we perceive it.
it's because thanks to Lyra finding out about shadow particles in our world, she realizes that dust isn't tied to original sin. It's just tied to the human psyche.
That's what it's
More or less,
tied to.
it's tied to human psyche. You know, clairvoyance in a way.
That's what it's
Because it's
tied to.
funny, because the lady who's just got
And hers with like a hurricane.
Fireworks display at fucking Magic Kingdom.
She just it's a type of thing where that's what it is. It's
Wale, get your pants back on. Now.
what I like is how she was even communicating with it, where she was just like, "Hey, you know," it's just like as if she was talking with it. That's why I like how they zoomed out to her hands, and it's like as if she's holding like a alethiometer. You know, she's communicating with the dust, and the dust is like talking right back to her like it's nothing.
Yeah, so I am curious. One thing I'm curious about as well is Will's grandparents. How much do they really know about what's going on?
Yeah, because it looks like they were talking to the guy who, you know, who's linked with the police, you know, last season, who we saw helping Lord Carlo at the time, you know, and who was, you know, breaking into the house and everything. You know, that's looks like that's who they were in contact with. Mm-hmm. And then more of even the researcher. You know, what part does she have to fully play into it now? What's her move that she has to do? Because even Lyra was telling her like, hey, you need to do this. This is your part that you need to do. You know, so it's like questioning now. I was like, okay, well, how is that gonna? You know, what does she have to do specifically? So it sounds like she has to go through the same thing Lyra just did. You know, but it's like she has to be more clairvoyant. You know, more at ease with her mind, not thinking about it.
Because in a weird way, that machine they have in the cave is kind of their alethiometer in a way.
Well, the machine is called the cave, they said.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But pretty much is there like a alethiometer in a way, which is really interesting.
Yeah, to me, I think that's what that was. Is that their world's alethiometer?
And you know, and while it sucks for Will, it is nice to know like he did get some hope, some sharp hope. Like Lyra got everything she wanted, like everything she needed.
This episode, she got everything, all the information she needed to know. That's why I like how even the alethiometer is like, it's like you know, this is where you need to find a researcher. Don't lie, and then help Will. And that's what she's doing. She did that. Okay, next part. Now she has to help Will find his father. You know, Will, he just had to make sure. Of course, first of all, he had to make sure his father was not father, but his mom was okay. Mm-hmm. You know, perfectly okay. You know, and of course the whole grandparents thing. It's like it sucks. Now it's like he's just now finding about his grandparents and how far they probably were from where they were living. You know, but now it's like now he's understanding. Okay, it sounds like this is deep. This goes deeper than I expected. Especially when his grandparents are just sitting there and even he's like, how do you know my mom's condition when you have no contact whatsoever?
And let's not forget, Lyra also finally met Carlo for the first time.
Yeah,
and
he's seen her, but she's never seen who he was or who he works with.
Yeah,
you know,
and just having that little bit over Miss Coulter, knowing not only where Leafy Hours, but where her daughter is. Mm-hmm. He is like 2 steps ahead of her already.
Oh yeah,
he is much closer to getting her and the Leafy Hour than she even close to is.
And what I like is how the Magisterium, I love how they look, how they see a witches. To them, it's just like a full-on blasphemy, even though the witches always have, it's like they have their own thing, but they don't ever interfere with the Magisterium. It's like they have their own goals, but it's like Magisterium thinks, oh, they're out to get us. They're out to get us. You know, but it's like, really? You know, it's like, it's interesting, especially when even they're like, when the guys explain to them their point of view, it's just like, they look at the world, you know, and the different, you know, this has, and then the guy's just like, it's blasphemy. It's just like, really, you know, that's just how they do it.
I believe he did get a bit too biased. If he was a minister, he got a bit too biased on that front.
Yeah,
but it's interesting to find out how the witches like kind of in a way disconnect themselves, learn how to disconnect themselves from their demon. Because remember, they even said in season 1 how they're able to be so far away from their demons.
They're able to be further away than usual with their
because now we know they have a test they do when they're of age to test them to become full-time witches.
Yeah, where it's like they have to go through a process and stuff like that. So
that was an interesting piece of lore I had no idea about. But it's cool because you can see a difference because they consider it blasphemy. You know, the Magisterium considers it blasphemy. And they condemn the guy for like 8 years in jail for it.
I know, it's like just because they think he's a traitor or he's still working with them, even though technically he's not.
He's neutral.
He's neutral.
Like, yeah, sure.
Remember last season we saw, it's like
his mother was a witch.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm. That's why even he stated, it's like, you know, talking about, even when he brought up the ritual about, you know, when, you know, coming of age and then going, stuff like that, it's just like, they think, oh, that's just barbaric. And the way even he's like, no, that's beautiful. You know, the way they do it, it's like, it's a ritual which is a very beautiful ritual. I don't know about you, it's like you may call it, you know, barbaric, but for us, we see it as very beautiful of how the ritual is done.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, you see both sides, and you know, now even in today's standard, what I like, which is like the way they see things compared to other people. You know, it's like, you know, how they call it blasphemy or this or that, when it's just they keep to themselves. They don't really bother anybody else. You know, especially for the witches. You know, and then we see the freaking outcome of what happened. You know, after the queen.
Yeah, they carpet bombing the witches area.
Yeah, you know, and just because they assume, he murdered the guard, no thinking, you know, they were after him, he was a target or something. It's like, no, he was just in the way. He just decided to get out, and she decided to stab him. You know,
which I think she's ultimately going to blame herself in the long run.
Yeah,
she's going to be all for like fighting the Magisterium, but she's going to definitely
still going to be. Yeah, I believe she's still going to blame herself. Where it's like it's like, you know, you were right. I should have, you know, done what I did. But now we have to go to war. We have to go over, and we have to, you know, fight back what they took away from us, type of situation. Yeah. You know, so it's getting good so far. Like I said, I think this episode even gave us, like I said, a lot of information, a lot of info, and can't wait to see more information we're gonna get. I mean, are we gonna see Miss Coulter eventually go to the other world? You know, or in the next episode we're gonna see Will and Lyra finally get back to Lyra's world? You know, that's the question I have, because now their next goal is to find Will's father. Yeah, so other than that, if you're new to the channel, you can hit the like button. If you want to talk to us more about stuff like this, comment down below. If you want to share us around, share it around. And if you like us just a little bit more than anybody else when it comes to talking about HBO/BBC original series, hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon as well. Let us know what you guys thought of this episode overall. Did you enjoy it? Was a lot of info-filling type of episode. You got a lot to answer, but still, of course, there were still a lot more questions, but were you fully, I can't even say that. Were you satisfied with? Yeah, thank you. Were you satisfied with the amount of information you got in this episode, especially with, you know, in this world, how we view dust and stuff like that? You know, I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on it? Like I said, these questions are more for people who have not read the book in a way. You know, for those who've read it, what did you think of this episode? What do you think so far of the second season? What, you know, in the second episode, you think they're doing a strong job, you know, delivering? Because I know we've heard a lot of people say that this season, you know, the book it's based off of is like one of the best books out of the series. So are they doing a good job so far in this season? And then for those who have, like I said, who have not read the book and are just watching along with us as well, you know, who haven't read the book, you know, what are your guys' thoughts on it? Are you guys' thoughts on Miss Coulter and where she's at, Lyra, Will, you know, everything that's been going on? I mean, put down your guys' thoughts and opinions down below. Put down what you thought of our reaction overall to this episode, but most importantly, we thank you for watching. And of course, on the next episode of SRB TV, dealing with His Dark Materials, we will be tackling Season 2, Episode 3, Theft. So until next time, I'm Kristen. I'm Christopher. And this has been a very cave-filled episode of SRB TV. See ya. Later. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you want to check out our previous reactions, or any one of our other SRB shows, check out one of our playlists down below. And if you want to check us out in the social universe, you can find us on Twitter and Stardust @SuperReactBros.